enable a user to access the web on a television set using a special remote control and a decoder that sits on top of the TV. And then services are offered by various types of providers. For example, TV broadcasters, satellite operators, and telecom operators. Okay.
Hello.
Yes.
So what's the time the classes will be started?
3 o'clock, 3 to 4:30.
3 to 4:30. Okay, madam.
Yes. Okay. So there are various steps and video on demand processes in which the user or the audiences they first they request for a yes film or a video which are in analog format and which have to be digitalized and compressed and
It's a
distributed to the
broadcasting
video
class,
server.
madam. Hello.
This is new media and ICT class.
Okay.
And then when the customer selects the video on demand channel on the set-top box, the application is loaded to the set-top box. Then this step, includes a management operation to make the requisite delivery. And this includes, the billing system, a controller like a remote control, which manages online demand services and tells the video server what to do, and controller of the delivery network that allocates the resources necessary to fulfill a customer's request. And then the management allocate the resources for the delivery and setup of the protection scheme, which allows only the subscriber to view the movie. Okay. And we have something called as internet video, just like the internet radio. The web television also works on the same principle of streaming audio visual content on the internet. And the internet television can be accessed by selecting content from a channel directory or archive, and stream it into the computer using a media player. And these days there are hundreds of user generated collaborative sites on the web, and the most popular is YouTube, and where individuals and groups post audiovisual content ranging from education to spiritualism, business to entertainment. Okay. And a person with ordinary video recording device or a phone can also make and post videos online. Then we have another aspect of web television is the IPTV, known as the Internet Protocol Television, where Internet Protocol is the language devices used to communicate over a computer network. Okay, then this system of television, is not based on streaming of content, but transmission of video using Internet Protocol. And thus IPTV, is a system where a digital television service is delivered to subscribers using the Internet Protocol over a broadband connection. And the television, with the help of a set-top box, becomes a part of that network. Okay, and there are some of the features of IPTV, which it enables two-way interactivity, as it allows audience to to select programs of their choice, interact, personalize, and control their viewing experience. They can select whatever content they like to view, and the transmission is in real time and it's of very high quality. And it's also possible to
Please,
integrate a number of
hello.
services. Yes.
I will not understand about the listening learning. So please, what the defined? What are you explaining about today? The topic.
See, last class we discussed. I think you were not there in the last class, right?
Yes.
Okay,
So
so
today
today
I
we
will
are
join us.
okay. So actually we are
So
discussing
let me
about,
tell you the basically the what are you saying now? I will not understand me
we
and
are
another
discussing
person.
about video on demand,
Video and demands.
video
It's
on
a
demand
subject and
and web
topic.
TV, web television. Yeah,
Web
it
televisions
comes
like
under new media. Yeah, we are basically discussing the new media technologies. Okay,
initiates.
so yeah, video on demand is one of that aspect. We're discussing about that. Okay, so content format in this video on demand is, there are one or two formats, uh, it is selected by the providers or the multiplayers, where the delivery network or the IP network is public internet, and viewing device is, via PC or display portable top set top box or device. So earlier classes we have been discussing about what is new media and traditional media. So as we have earlier discussed in the previous classes, that media sector has evolved in different stages, right? And each time a new media technology surfaces, there is a competition between the new and the old forms for capturing audience attention. So ultimately, the new media is accepted, and the old media forms, adapt themselves to these new situations. For instance, the representation, of a classic literary work.
Ma'am. Hello.
It's
Ma'am,
WhatsApp
you
and
are
what?
not audible, ma'am. Hello.
Hello.
Ma'am, you are not audible.
It's a technical error.
You are not able to hear any voice.
But I am listening you.
Okay, but ma'am is not audible.
So it's a technical error. Don't worry. The next week we'll join now.
Oh, ma'am.
Sorry, yeah, there was a network issue.
Yeah, okay. You are not. Hello,
Am I
ma'am.
audible now?
No, ma'am, you are not audible. Hello, there is a disturbance.
Okay. Is it clear now?
Now it is okay, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
So we are discussing about impact of new media on traditional media.
Okay.
Okay. So in the earlier classes we have been discussing, right, about new media and traditional media, the differences between new media and traditional media. So what do you
Yes.
think the impact? What have been the impact of new media on these traditional media? Anything?
We are getting minute to minute news from
That is
new.
Yeah.
In
See,
online,
now,
we'll get minute to minute news, but traditional means that we don't get in traditional media.
mhm, yeah, right. This is also one of the impact. See, with the new media technologies like the internet, web, and the social media, when it met with the traditional media, with combined with the traditional media, there's, with the high speed transmission of internet, the interactivity aspect has increased and reliability has emerged. It has emerged as a popular interpersonal and mass communication tool when compared to the earlier forms of traditional media. Today, we see the convergence of multiple platforms into a single entity. For example, the newspapers, we have e-papers, right? The magazines and television channels. There is something called as web TV now. Have all realized, they have all realized the worth of an online edition, right? Everything is online right now. We have e versions of all these traditional forms of media, including the television and the radio, right? Initially, see, the power of the social media was sidelined, and however today, see, all popular media outlets have their online presence on social media, like they have their Twitter, Facebook, blog, and they have their accounts on social media, which is seen as an incredible source of information, right? And some of the impacts, there is a growth in the developers, and users learn to exploit and then they apply and expand the unique capabilities of the medium. They have convergence. The traditional medium cannot survive on its own, but we can preserve those kind of traditional media by incorporating or merging them with this new media, right? We have archives section, where, for example, DC, Deccan Chronicle newspaper have their archive section, wherein, we can access the online newspapers edition of past 50 years, right? In that way, we have been able to, the traditional medium have been able to survive by merging it with the new media. Okay. So, in the last class, we have discussed about what is multimedia, right? So there are different types of multimedia. For example, we have animation, photos, videos. So what are basically the tools of multimedia? The basic tools required for multimedia are text-based editing tools, graphical tools, sound editing tools, and animation of video and digital movie tools. These four are the basic tools required for multimedia. So what is text-based editing tools? These are usually word processors, and this is a software that you will commonly find in a personal computer, wherein word processors are usually a part of the office suite, and these are very powerful applications that include spell checkers. We have table formatters. We have pre-built templates for commonly used documents like Word documents, or we have PowerPoint. We have the word processors are used for creating project letters, invoices, and story bands, and they allow embedded multi media elements into one, and it is not commonly known as word processor in MS Word. And these days we have this several cloud services like Google Documents, which are available online, where we can format and edit. We have the graphical tools, which include painting and drawing tools, 3D modeling tools, or image editing tools, etc. Okay. Then we have something called as image editing tools, and these tools are used for editing images and formats, like bitmap, JPG, etc. And they also contain drawing tools with the help of which image can be edited, and certain special effects can also be applied on them. And the most commonly used editing tool is Adobe Photoshop. Like how we have image editing tool, in the same way we have sound editing tools. And there are a number of sound editing tools where we can integrate sound element into a multimedia project by using these specially designed tools. And the sound editing software can process and edit sound files saved in different formats. And using specially designed software programs, like we have some software called as Cool Edit or Sound Edit and MP3 Cutter. These are some of the examples of sound editing tools, where one can cut, copy, paste, or otherwise, edit segments according to their choice. And we likewise we have animation and video, digital movie tools. In the same way, we can use a sequence of 2D or 3D artwork image, and in order to create an illusion of movement, the 3D effect, which is popularly known as optical illusion. Okay. Then we have some editing software programs, wherein we can edit the clips of audio and video arranged in tracks. Okay, where we are free to cut and paste the clippings and rearrange sequences in our storytelling processes. So we can arrange in a sequence in the order wise. And besides the software, we have a library wherein we have built-in transitions, and we have filters, and we have several motions for clippings and for other multimedia productions. Okay, so we have few softwares like Adobe Premiere, Adobe After Effects, Final Cut Pro. And Final Cut Pro, it's a professional video editing tool by Apple. It's mainly used for professional editing. Okay. So clear about the tools for multimedia?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes.
So multimedia is used in various sectors like entertainment, education. So in the recent years, the application of multimedia have become diverse. Now in the field of academics also, we are using these kind of multimedia. With which range from medicine to academics, and from virtual gaming to nuclear physics as well. And the most evident contribution of multimedia is seen in entertainment industries these days, like mainstream cinema. We have animated films, we have media and advertising, and most importantly in the gaming sector. So it is used to develop special effects in movies and animations also. And multimedia games are a popular pastime, and as a software programs, they are available both in either CD-ROMs or DVDs these days. Okay, and the advances in the computer entertainment, multiplayer, and online games also, technology, they enable all these forms of culture and performance. They have created a new form of entertainment and art. And the success of this new field has influenced the development of digital entertainment industries. So, where we have 2D and 3D animations, we have interactive computer graphics and internet applications. We have electronic games. They are one of the major applications of multimedia these days, and very popular among youngsters. Okay, and these availability of enhanced delivery, and we have storage mechanisms like CDs, DVDs, plugins, and USB storage. All these devices have added to their popularity now. Because see, games can now be played on the internet, on mobiles, and especially devices like we have PlayStations. So we can access through all these devices. And growth in technology based infrastructure like networking and bandwidth. We have display technology enhancement. So we have virtual reality technologies. All these have contributed for greater use of multimedia. Okay. We have, virtual reality is nothing but the technology that creates an illusion of reality. Okay, that includes the movement and touch. We have something called stimulated virtual technologies also these days, wherein it allows a user to play a participative role in the center of action by not only seeing and hearing surroundings, but manipulating with them. We can suppose if you're playing a game online, we can also participate in that game. Okay, so these type of technology is known as the simulated virtual technologies. Okay, so multimedia is also entered the education sector. And we have databases wherein multimedia technologies offer extraordinary facilities in data storage and a data management processor, where we can archive the information. And the application includes encyclopedias, we have census data, we have public records, yellow pages, directories, we have maps, ebooks, cross reference books, and several databases can be found on CVs and DVDs as well, where all these important data by the government and by the industry, all these data are archived on the internet. So this way we can say that multimedia has also entered the education sector. And not only that, we can also use for training and e-learning purposes. Like training and education, as they are the two most important areas of multimedia applications these days, where we have computer based training, known as CBT, which is nothing but it is interactive in nature, and it's now available for various disciplines, and is now extensively used as an educational and learning tool. And computer based trainings are now made available in DVDs also. And multimedia applications like graphics, animation, and sound, they enable better visualization of content, and make comprehension and learning easier. And as these things are digitalized, we can replay it a number of times, and that are useful, very useful for the average learners. For instance, if these lecture is been recorded, you can revisit and replay the lecture, and you can hear it again, so that you can enable for better learning. So besides animation and graphics, it can also make complex subjects easily understood. Okay, so over the years, animation has grown to a far extent, and there is a very growing popularity among online education through graphics. Okay, so we have multimedia production as well. What does a multimedia production require? So a multimedia production requires a team of professionals. Okay, it requires a team who look after the various stages of production, like uh, we have project director, graphic designer, we have production artist, producer, we have project manager, a writer, sound designer, videographer, then we have animators and programmers. So these are the team required for a multimedia production. Okay, then in this we have something called as concept design. So what is a concept design? We have discussions with the client and among the team members. They define what the products must deliver in terms of information, and what are the desired goals. We have some activities, whether this production require interview of the client, or it just require plain document or a summary, or just building specification for production, or and before finalizing the concept, few steps must be followed, like gathering. First we should research and gather content and information about the product. Okay, it could the information could include anything, like artwork, sound, text, video, or something simple as a statistical database, or any information which is useful for the product. Okay, so after gathering the content and the information, next is navigation designing. Okay, To come up with an appropriate navigation design, we should able to deliver these following questions,
So
like
what is the navigation and what kind of use in the journalism, sir? Navigation.
see,
Yeah.
gathering content and information is the first step. After that, we
Okay.
have navigation designing. That means uh, we
Basically, the
should first
navigation are used for
yeah,
the
that's
longitude and latitude in the east, west, north, and south.
no,
So
no, no. Yeah, that is for another context. But in multimedia context,
yeah, it's
navigation
a
is
multimedia.
answering these questions, like how
Yeah,
will the
it's my
user
question.
get around inside the program, how to navigate, how to use the tool, like how will the user exit that tool. That is known as navigation. How to navigate in the web page, how to search. Okay, what should be the organizational flow of the program. So this is the navigation used in multimedia aspect. Okay, so one can design a flowchart to provide an overview of the navigation. Navigation is nothing but how to use the website for searching and how to exit, how to search information on a website is navigation. Navigating from one page to another page. Okay, so after gathering the content and information, then after knowing how to navigate the page, and after designing the blueprint of the or the flow chart of the product, then we have something known as designing the aesthetics. So basically, see, the program doesn't look good, chances are none will care to explore the content, right? So we are constantly bombarded with information. We have so many programs, so much competition, and it's sometimes impossible for us to sort through all of it. So what goes, what does it require to be successful is it should be the program should be presented in a very clear way, pleasing and attractive manner. Okay, and in this case, we can have a storyboard, which is a storyboard is nothing but a pictorial representation in frames. Okay, which gives an overall idea about design, content and navigation of the program. Okay, then we have planning in the sense the team works together to define exactly how the project will look and how it does it feel and how that functionality will deliver the desired messages. Then we have activities include creating and finalizing the flow chart, the storyboard, and then finalizing the functional specifications, the timeline. And we have also it's very essential to create a list of needed content and work assignments, because we have to assign each work, we have to assign the work and in the team, and each team member has to designate their required role in a specific timeline. So then we have the production in the some of the activities are the creating through the layout and interface design. Then we have whether the production require video or creating music or other sounds, whether the production requires any photography or videography, motion graphics or animation or still images or only text, or assembling all these elements into a prototype. So that has to be properly executed in the uh, at the earlier stages, and then in the production stage all these things have to be finalized. This we there should be an internal team also to review and critique about all these elements, whether uh, like something, we have editors in the newspapers, right? So before the story goes on to the print for printing, we have editors who approve our write-ups, right? So that way we have an internal team where the review, they review our production techniques, and they also critique. Then we have a final revision, like based on the review we have a team who give us a feedback and the result of this testing, final testing. If any revision is required, if the software, we have to also check whether the software has any glitches, like sound glitch or typographical visual error. visual error is, for example, some elements they don't line up, when you move from screen to screen, or there could be a problem with functionality of a particular part of the interface. So all these needs to be checked in the final revision process. And at the end, there is a distribution. That is nothing but the packaging the product in its final form for distribution. Okay. And then mastering, duplicating, packaging, shipping media, all these things are the distribution aspect.
Listen to me now, madam. The will not be understand about the topic because the will not show the contents of the you say in a textbook. So let me tell you that
See,
now.
actually, I think you have missed the earlier 4 classes. So that's the reason you are unable to catch up with this topic. So I would
Yes, madam.
request you to, go to the YouTube channel. Okay, we are
Okay.
affected, and there are the recorded versions of all these 4 lectures.
Yes.
Yeah, you can go through this
Okay.
so that you can have a better understanding, and then you will be able to grasp these topics. Okay.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
I think this is a new subject, and this is the first class, so that's the reason you are unable to understand these
Okay.
topics. So go through those videos and let me know if there is any doubt.
Now, what
I'll
the
explain
lesson will be
you.
the show in the word and
We have been discussing about new media technologies. Okay, so
okay,
internet
okay.
is also one of the new media technology.
Yeah, it's a new media technology. It's an internet
Yeah. So
protocol.
video on demand
The
is
where is the
also
any
one of the,
sheets?
yeah, video on demand is also one of the media technologies. So
Okay.
basically, we are discussing like how to merge the traditional media with the new media, and how to distribute the information with all these technologies. We are discussing about multimedia. Multimedia is nothing but merging all the forms of traditional media like um, text, video, audio. Okay, so we have something more than that. We have animations, graphics, right? So merging all these things together to tell a story to the audience, to the viewers, for a better understanding of the concept. Okay. So we have been discussing of all these aspects now. Okay. So now we were discussing about the multimedia production. So all these aspects are required in the multimedia production. Multimedia production is nothing but how to package the information, how to package the story and tell it to the viewer in a better way by incorporating all these media technologies. Okay, clear? It's clear? Okay. So writing, we will have something called as writing for multimedia. So multimedia writing, it's a collaborative effort in which writers have to work in, they have to be friends with they have to work with all these artists, like they have to collaboratively work with graphic artists, they have to work with video clip makers, animation producers, and others to produce a work which does not have a linear path. That means a writer doesn't necessarily he doesn't acquire all these skills, right? So he has to work in collaboration with all these other artists to work for the multimedia. So as we have, earlier we have been discussing about the multimedia aspects, wherein all these forms of convergence is multimedia. So multimedia writing is also based on the principle of hypertext. Okay, so hence the writing follows a non-linear format. That means the structure of writing appears more like um that appear like a alternative paths which can be followed at any point along the way. That means the kind of structure, it will affect the kind of writing produced for multimedia. Like, see, multimedia writers, they must learn to write for discrete scenes, right?
Listen to me,
They
madam. The
need to
number
learn.
of type of multimedias in task in the journalism, sir. Journalism, madam.
Yeah.
The my question is there. The number of type of multimedia is using in the in journalism.
uh,
Hello, listen to me now.
yes, yes.
So number of type of multimedia using in the journalism, madam.
Types of multimedia. As we discussed earlier, multimedia is used in various sectors like education, entertainment. So in all these things, multimedia is used. Types of
Okay, madam.
multimedia in the sense, multimedia is nothing but incorporating all the graphics, animations,
Even in
video, text.
e-commerce also, I think. Ma'am.
Yes, even in
E-commerce, number of
yeah.
types in the field.
Yes, in medicines also we have multimedia. So multimedia is basically entered every sector these days, right? With the emerging technologies,
It's
which
used
means
for the
we have,
advertisement and information to broadcasting.
yes, even advertisements also they use multimedia. If you see various YouTube, also on YouTube, you
Okay, can
can
you
see
hear
the
me?
use of multimedia technologies.
Madam, topic are different, the subject are different today. So,
No, it's part of the new media technologies. Multimedia is part of the new media technology. That's the reason. You just go through the earlier four lectures, then you will be able to understand what's exactly we are talking about. Okay. So, multimedia writers, they must learn to write for discrete screens. Like they must learn how to write precisely. For example, see, multimedia users can be users of a PC or mobile phone. They can access through various screens, right? So a few screens, they are not intended to, specifically, they are not designed for full view of the text. So they should keep in mind all these aspects before writing for the multimedia, right? So, for example, a multimedia writer, they should, choose the text and background colors very carefully. Okay, and they should check the suitability of the colors. Then they should not use the backgrounds, that obscure the text, or use colors that are very hard to read. Okay, the aestheticity should be kept in mind. And then dark colored text, on a light color, the background is easier to read, right?
web developing
And
also including in the multimedia, madam. Web developing.
yes.
Web developing.
In the
Okay.
last class, we discussed about that.
Website and web developing are also
Yes,
including.
they are also the part of it. Right. See, for example, see, dark colored text on a light colored background is easier to read than, the light colored text on a dark colored background, right? And there are all graphic images and elements like typefaces, headings, and footers, should be consistent throughout the write up. Okay, the font size, the font type, everything should be consistent. And you should, the writers, they should adopt consistency and coherence in language, design, and presentation. Okay, and there are documents that are to be read non-sequentially. That means, one must keep in mind while writing all these aspects should be kept in mind, and the content should be divided into logical units to establish a hierarchy of importance among the units. Okay, so the hierarchy should be maintained. Okay, any doubts? Any doubts for writing for the multimedia? Okay. The next topic is interactive multimedia and its applications in education and training. Okay, interactive multimedia.
జాబ్ చేసే వాళ్ళ దగ్గర లేదు కొద్ది
See, the term interactive multimedia, it's a phrase to describe the new wave of computer software that primarily deals with the provision of information. Okay, so the multimedia component, it is characterized by the presence of text, pictures, and we have sound, animation, and we have video. Okay, so all these are organized into a into a program. All these are merged into a program. So then there is a element of interactivity, and the interactive component, it what is interactivity? It is the process of empowering the user to control the environment, okay, by providing the feedback, okay, and the learner, wherein the learner is given more control over what he or she wants to learn, right? The content is the content is decided by the learner here in the interactive medium, and the transmission of information, it's done via different modalities, like we have text, we have sound and touch in the multimedia aspect, wherein it allows learning to the most natural means, like the senses. For example, we have more user friendly and an interactive multimedia programs. It becomes more like learners will become motivated, and it and also they will benefit from the interactive learning experience, okay. And what are some of the benefits of interactive learning? See, interactive learning, they have reduced the learning time. For example, interactive or multimedia video training can reduce training time by up to 60% over traditional classroom methods. Because if you see a video or a animation, you are able to grasp more information than by reading a whole text, right? So it has reduced the learning time. It has also reduced the cost. When the same program is used by more students, the cost per students, is reduced. Unlike the traditional instructional system, where one needs to have a, where we have to assign teachers, where we have to pay salary to the teachers. Then we have, in the traditional form of learning, we have paper-based model where we have to distribute all the papers, all the materials, right? So it has also reduced the cost. Then we have instructional consistency and fairness, wherein the instructional quality and quantity, they are not compromised, because technology based interactive instruction is consistent and reliable, okay. We can rely on the information that is it is also based on technology, so we can rely on those information. And then we have increased retention. It means the interactive approach, they provide a strong learning reinforcement, and therefore boosts content retention over time. And we have also flexibilities there, because the flexibility comes from the ability to navigate, right? By using a keyboard, mouse, or touch screen, we can navigate through an internet interactive program. And also we can choose what and how much information we want and how we want, right? Then we have a teacher as a facilitator, in the in the sense, traditional teaching model, wherein the teacher holds on to the knowledge base and they deliver the knowledge base directly to the student. Wherein, as in the new situation, we have help of with the help of multimedia, the teacher become a true facilitator, because it will be very easy for a teacher to manage and organize the learning process, rather than the source of all knowledge. If they use all these kind of multimedia tools, it would be easy. It would be it acts as a facilitator for the teacher to distribute the knowledge, okay. So now so I think everybody, yeah, everybody has
Class are
been
over, madam.
no,
Madam,
it's
what's
still
the class
4:30.
timing, madam? But continue. Still, I am waiting for lunch, madam.
The class is still 4:30.
4:30. Okay, madam.
Yes. I think everybody has their presence on social media, right? So yeah, everybody is active on social media.
Yes, madam. There, but we are active in
Okay.
class.
So what are the sites you are active on social media where you have accounts?
So, in accounts and like Facebook, social media platform, Twitter, Instagram.
Hmm.
The fastest are the social media platform, the Twitter, and again the Instagram. Today,
Okay.
the reading and professionally the social media use Instagram.
Okay. Instagram.
Yeah, it's like very fast.
Even blog, ma'am, blog.
Yes, yes, even blogs.
Blogs
So
will
yeah,
not be
you have a blog?
not initiates in this time. Blog is a small web page.
Hmm.
Creativity, its own design of web page.
Yeah, right. So you all have been active on social media. You have a strong presence of social media. So what exactly, according to your knowledge, is social media? How will you define a social media?
Social media is defined for the what the activity and the what the current affairs presently and the past. Post will be a short time and a short period in through the story into the uses of the multimedia and the technology and its initiates sharing to the
Right.
generally public information is broadcasting. It's my thoughts, madam, and you. I don't know what wrongs and what right. Hello, hello. Can you hear me? Hello. Hello.
Hello, ma'am.
Your voice is not clearly, madam. Some error reported. It's a technical error. Hello. Hello. Can you hear me?
Hello. Hello. Anyone are there in the line?
Yes,
అంటే ఇప్పుడు క్లాస్ కంటిన్యూ అవుతుందా లేదు?
తెలియదు మ్యామ్, చూడాలి తీసుకునేసరికి.
Yeah. Sorry, there was a connectivity issue. Am I audible now?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible. But lot of disturbance.
Disturbance?
Right now it is okay, but
Madam, your voice is not clear, madam. It's a technical error.
Just 1 second, let me check.
Let me. So please, I humble request you now. Hello.
Yeah, is it clear now?
Yeah, yeah. It's time. It's clear the error.
Okay.
Yes,
So, what are the characteristics of social media?
The characteristics of social media, madam. Basically, the introduction and definition of the characters of media. First, hello.
Yeah.
What is the characters and difference about
No,
media?
no, we have been
Social,
discussing about social media. Like, what is social media?
social media.
In the earlier class also. See, social media is nothing but the websites and applications that enable users to create and share content, or or which they enable them to participate in social networking. This is basically what is social media.
Yeah.
So, I am asking, what are the characteristics of social media?
What is the practice?
Characteristics.
So,
Ma'am, the
madam,
news, we can know the news.
It is on text based and visual based.
that
Yeah.
contents of the news, the broadcasting through the broadcasting units and use of the
Yes.
communication system. I
Yeah, we
think
can, the basic characteristics, we can build profiles, right? We can connect with friends.
the
We can
connectivity and
upload
the
content
accuracy.
in, yeah, upload content in real time. Like we can
Yeah,
have a live, uh, we can go
input and
live.
output. Yeah, input outputs.
Yeah. And we can
The
enable
signals.
conversations.
Yes, madam. The
Yes.
frequency and the signals and the accuracy and other types
Yeah.
of.
We can be in contact with people directly, ma'am.
Yes, yes, direct. We can, yeah, we
Also
can
the
interact with the people, with the whole world actually. Yeah. Yeah. So, then we can create our profile, create our blogs, right?
madam,
Ma'am, please tell everyone to mute so that we can hear
Yeah.
clearly.
Please mute yourselves. Okay. Yes. So we can create our account, right? We were discussing about the characteristics of social media. So we can enable conversations, we can upload content, we can connect with friends and family, we can build profiles, right? We can express our thoughts and issues, right? So all these are, the characteristics of social media, and this enables the users, to be active participants in the
but
communication
madam,
process.
today the Ministry of Broadcasting and Information Broadcasting is said officially the social media accounts are platform is not a channel, not a recognized for journalism, journalism row. So
See, there are a lot of information posted on social media, and of course, all the information cannot be reliable. It cannot be trusted, right? There should be some verification and authentication before using those information as a source for our story. So that's the reason that filtering of information is required. Unless and until that the news comes from a authentic source, we cannot trust that source, right? Because there are various
the individually any person kind of own account and own content is sharing to the
yeah, people
platform.
are sharing all kinds of content online and we cannot trust
Yes.
them, right? It
Yeah,
can
yeah.
be fake. We have to
It's
identify what is
yeah, based on the fact at about this type of
right. So there should be some kind of filtering, some kind of verification and authentication, right, before using that story as a source, before quoting that story or that information as a source. The reason it's important.
as per the local
Not
source and
everything.
agent news agencies.
Yeah, the fake news has to be identified and okay. So that will come in the later section, right? The disadvantages, how to cope up with the fake news and all those things. Now for the characteristics of social
The
media.
departments, the reliable source department, INPR department, and press information bureau, and other
Yes,
departments are the reliable
yes,
source.
reliable sources of information where we can trust them. They're official sources of information.
Yeah, official date. Okay.
Yeah, and the user generated content, for example, if you are going to take a user generated content, verification and authentication has to be done before trusting that,
Okay.
right?
Thank you.
That's, yeah. See, all these social media tools, they enable the users to be active participation, participant in the communication process, right?
Like
And
space in Twitter, I think.
yes, yes. Twitter posts are limited to the characters, right? Limited. We have limited characters.
Yes, madam.
Audiences, they are more engaged with brand messages because they can provide feedback to companies as well. customer can directly, go online on their social media accounts and then can review the product. They can provide the feedback, right? So it, it facilitates and create a two-way communication process, okay, between the consumers, the end users. Okay, we have this mechanism of two-way communication process, and then we have this instant communication. Okay, this is another important characteristics of social media, wherein the communication is instant, and the audiences, they do not have to wait until a news is broadcast to receive information, because as we discussed earlier in the earlier classes, that the news, breaking news is first, these days breaking news is first being seen on the social media platforms, right? And information, because reporters and media outlets, they it has become easy for them to bring the news directly to social media platforms. And furthermore, people can easily share and post news content on their networks, on their social media sites, on Facebook, Twitter, and they can break the stories or break the news. And social media, they can also foster a sense of interconnectedness and community, by bringing different people across the globe together online into one community. For example, see, those people living in the US or the UK, they can easily interact with those people living in India or Australia, anywhere in the world. We can connect easily with across the globe. And one more important characteristic is social media is user based. See, before social media networks like Facebook and then or MySpace, they before they became famous, websites were based on content that was updated by one user, okay, and read by internet visitors. Now, see, earlier the flow of information was in a single direction, and the direction of future updates was determined by the webmaster or writer, okay. We had only a single writer, okay, those days, before the social media sites came into existence. Then we had we had only websites then, way back then we, on the other hand, we have these online social networks, which are built and directed by users themselves, okay. The users, we can build up profiles, we can interact. So without the users, the network would be empty space, right? It is all Facebook, Twitter, all these social media sites are, they are how they are connected. They are connected with the users, the number of users, then the more number of network. So the network, the network is it depends, and it's determined by the number of users.
But it's a amicable leadership. It's a amicable.
It's an
Amicable the friendship, madam.
it is determined by the users. How many users? See, we have so many billion users, so many million users on Facebook,
Yes.
Twitter. So
Yes.
the more number of users, the more network, right?
Yes, madam. Amicable.
Yeah. And see, only because of users, the users, they populate the network with conversation and content. Only if and only we have the users, we have content, we have information posted, right? So the direction of that content is determined by anyone who takes part in the discussion. For example, if I post something on my Facebook, how the interaction is processed, we have, if we have users only, then we have a comment section. The comment, if you comment something, then we have other students who comment something, then only it facilitates for the discussion part, right? It is determined by the number of users and the reach. The reach is it depends, and it's determined by the number of users. Okay, so this is what, it makes social networks so much more exciting and dynamic for internet users, because these are user generated and user based networks. Then another element is interactivity. So it's, in fact, they are these social media sites are very interactive. This means it's not just a collection of chat rooms or messages from anywhere. Websites, like Facebook, they are filled with network based gaming applications, where you can play poker together, or you can challenge a friend to a chess tournament. We have Facebook games, right? We have marketplace on Facebook where we can deal, have business. It's a platform for business. Facebook marketplace, we have all these things, which is basically, you know, nothing but e-commerce. They are also facilitating the e-commerce. Okay. And these social media sites, they're quickly, you know, becoming a pastime that more people are choosing over television. Right now, people, you know, are more hooked on to social media sites. And another aspect is, these sites are community driven, which means, you know, social network, it's built from community concepts, right? This means, just like communities or social groups around the world, they are founded on the fact that, you know, members hold beliefs or hobbies. Like social media are based on same principle. Like if you share same thought process, we can come in together into single community, right?
Ma'am, hello. Hello, anyone on the line?
Yes, ma'am.
అంటే తను చాలా డిస్టర్బెన్స్ వస్తున్నట్టుంది మేడంది.
It's okay, madam. Audible only now.
Can you hear me? Hello? Yeah. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Lot of disturbance.
Yes, yes. Today there is a lot of disturbance. Now, is it fine?
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
Switch to my mobile phone. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. See, social media networks today, they are, you know, community driven. What is community driven? Because people with the same belief and same principle, they can, or same hobbies or same interests.
Yeah, like-mindedness.
Yeah, people with all those like-minded people can come together as a single community.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they can,
Ma'am, what about
Ma'am,
Yes.
social media powerful than media? I mean,
Yeah,
broadcast media?
Yes, today social media is very popular. If you see the statistics, you know, there are more number of social media. That's what I told earlier, right? See, more than television or radio, people are preferring social media these days because everything has their presence online, right? All these channels, broadcasting channels, television channels, also they have their presence online on Facebook. They have their Facebook pages, right? So whatever content, for example, see, if you see all this, we have these serials, right? Before being broadcasted on television, you know, it has been broadcast on few Instagram channels. prior to broadcasting on television. So that's the reason people are no longer hooked to television. They are hooked to social networking sites these days. Okay. Because the access to information, is very easy and very quick. And most of these news channels before, our newspapers, I believe, newspaper edition, whatever happened now or today at this moment will be reported and will be read by the, audiences, by the readers the next day, right? In the newspapers. But on social media, they have their presence on social media, right? They have their Facebook pages or Twitter where they'll break the news and then they post online. Okay. The news is posted online first on their Facebook pages or their websites. So that's the reason people, especially youngsters, they are hooked on to this social media and new media, social media these days. Okay.
Ma'am, WhatsApp is different.
Yeah. WhatsApp?
WhatsApp is a different platform.
No,
whether it comes under social.
WhatsApp is also one among the platform, but the usage of Facebook and Twitter or Instagram is more than that. It's just, we have exchange of information, sharing on information, WhatsApp, that's a different concept, but the features are more on these kind of platform, right? Facebook, Twitter.
Yes.
Okay, so these are the characteristics of social media. So you can add if you want to add something, if you want to share something based on your experience, on your user experiences of all these networking sites. LinkedIn is, of course, it's a professional site. It's a professional networking site where it has, created a lot of platform for, new opportunities for jobs and for promotion for all these activities. So you have your profiles on LinkedIn?
Ma'am, LinkedIn, we don't have idea. I don't have idea about LinkedIn.
Okay, LinkedIn is also a social media platform, but it's more of a professional use when compared to Facebook or Twitter.
Yes, for jobs.
Yeah, more for job opportunities and connecting with peer group or co-workers or colleagues, or for the business promotion.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
For job search, all these.
Yes.
Yeah. So coming to the impact of social networks or social media sites. See, social media, they had made it very easy for the spread of information, right? Everything, all the information is spread very quickly and rapidly because see, Facebook and Twitter, they have timelines. They have Facebook have stories. Okay, Facebook stories, they appear, it can appear for 24 hours and after that they'll disappear, right? Same we have Instagram, they also have this stories kind of thing. So timelines, they disappear very quickly. So people are very active and then there are few people who post, I believe there are so many people who post 3 to 4 stories in a day and they disappear within 24 hours. They're very active on all these platforms. They people share their fun or interesting and informative content, and it also gives businesses
Ma'am,
also.
even false news also circulated in social media, I think.
Fake news is circulated, and especially on WhatsApp.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so that is also there. But apart from that, it's a very easy way for the businesses also to engage with the customers, right?
Yes.
See, that's what you said. Fake news. Anybody can share anything, anything, including material that may not be accurate, and in some cases, real harm is done when people spread inflammatory or unverified or false information. This can harm private individuals and they can harm have some harmful effects. Okay, and it sometimes it can also have a very harmful impact on the society as a whole, depending on the news, the fake news which has been circulated.
Say,
For
hello.
example, yes.
Unaccountability of the unaccountability of the reasons of madam.
Yes, yes. Every person, every user should be accountable for the spread of the information. Okay, before spreading the information, we should fact check whether the information is true. If the information has an impact on the society, it should be verified before spreading. Okay, before disseminating in the public as a whole, before sharing, because it's a platform where everything can be shared. You don't have any restrictions on sharing on information. So accountability is also one of the main thing that before users should take care of the accountability aspect. Okay, accountability, and then share the information. For example, the 2016 presidential election also, is one of the example of this information sharing. Okay. Hello.
Yes, ma'am. You mean to say
Hello.
Modi as elected as a prime minister, ma'am, in that way?
No, not that way. Whatever fake information, because during the election times also there are several fake news that's been bombarded on social media, which are not true, which are which are not totally based on true fact. So that should be, before sharing those kind of information, we should fact check first, and then only if there is something coming from an authentic source, then only we have to share that information. Okay.
Yes.
See, for example, the social media stories or post, they often they go viral. Okay, and the more outrageous and newsworthy something is, the more likely that many people it attracts many people and they share it on social media. So, and these type of fake news is mostly seen during election time, because people they are motivated to share anything that supports their candidate, or more likely attack the opposing candidate, right? This can result in false stories being widely circulating. Okay, even if the false stories are discredited, or the damage is already done, because the information has already been widely circulated, right? See, by the time if you take an action, millions of people have already been seen the story or read the story, right? So it's really the widespread, sharing of fake stories that causes harm on social media. This needs to be taken care of. Okay. Okay. So we have, what are the types of social networking sites? We discussed, we have Facebook. Facebook, is a web-based interactive network, which allows the users to share information and thoughts, over a wide area. And it makes possible for a connection to those which share internets across political. If you have a common interest in all these aspects like political, economic, and all these aspects, you can come together and connect on Facebook. Okay. And it was launched in February 2004. Okay. It was founded by Mark Zuckerberg.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so we have YouTube, right? YouTube is now, it's owned by Google, and then it's and it's very extremely popular web-based platform for uploading, sharing, and viewing videos, right? So
Videos.
yeah, YouTube is great for sharing, visually compelling content like videos, information, news, and presentations. And it's also used for training guides, and we have all types of videos are being uploaded. We have ads also, campaign ads. Okay, everything is being uploaded on YouTube. We have an option to known as upload your video, where here is where you will add your video to there. And people are also earning a lot by posting videos on their YouTube channels, right? See, adding a video and then see how we can simply drag and drop the video a file into the web page, and once you have uploaded, you can customize the title and you can give the description, and also you can choose a thumbnail for your video also. So in this
some
way you can-
business information also shared.
yes,
Madam,
yes.
listen to me now. The YouTubers and YouTube is not in journalism, madam. Journalism is a part of the contents and the deliver. It's a platform to
Yeah,
monitor
it's
the
you,
administrative and the working journalist. YouTubers is not
but it's
not
one
in
of,
journalism, madam.
but it's not, it's also one of the social media networking sites. It's very popular social media networking sites, right? YouTube or major
Because in my state, the information and public relations department will not be recognize the YouTube channels. Today, we are suffer the journalist and journalism system by from the YouTubers.
no, we are not discussing here as part of the as part of taking this YouTube stories as source of information. We are just discussing about the sources of information, right? About of all these networking sites. Okay, in general, we are just discussing in general about the type of social networking sites we have today. So YouTube is also one among them. Okay,
Yes.
Madam,
see all the,
my thoughts are there. My thoughts are there. I'm a working journalist and accredited. So it's a YouTuber is not a journalist, not a
we are not basically
in
talking
the
about
row
a
of the
YouTuber
journalism.
here. No. We are not basically talking about a YouTuber or YouTuber's content. We're generally talking about the YouTube, the platform YouTube, like how we can access the YouTube and how we can upload our video. It's YouTube videos
Initial
are
details about the YouTube, how to use the YouTube
not
and
talking
initially
about any channel here, like journalistic journalist YouTubers here. We're talking about common people using YouTube for their. You see, many people have generic channels like cooking channels, right? DIY channels. So how to access all these media platforms for our convenience, right? We're generally discussing about that. Okay, we'll come to that aspect in the next class, like what you have been talking, like how the information ministry has banned few channels for fake news for WhatsApp and YouTube for taking as source of information. That we'll discuss in another class.
Madam,
Okay.
which law and applicable for information, wrongful information and
Yeah,
unauthenticated and
we will
without
be coming
facts
to all those
and
aspects.
punishables and act? Please explain
See,
the next class.
we'll have all these discussions in separate, as a separate in the next class. We are just discussing about these generic platforms right now. So let's not confuse and merge with these journalistic things, right? We are just discussing about the types of social networking sites which are available here for the users, which are very popular now. Okay, don't merge it. Don't get confused with the journalism.
Ma'am, what is
That what
thumbnail?
you're telling is true. Okay, we will be discussing in the next section also, which laws are applicable and how to take the how to verify, how to fact check the the fake news and how to identify fake news, how to combat fake news. All these things we'll be discussing. But as of now, let's just discuss the generic aspect of all these platforms, the advantages of all these platforms. Okay. See, YouTube allows us to upload video. Not only journalists or journalism field, anybody can upload their video, right? Even any common people can upload their video. Like housewives, they have their cooking channels, right? They upload their videos, they earn. So YouTube is also one of the popular, web-based platform for uploading, sharing, and viewing videos. Then we have LinkedIn. It's a website, networking websites for organizations and people in professional occupations. I told you it's a professional networking site. Okay. See, employers here can, they can list their jobs and search for potential candidates here. Then job seekers can review the profile, for hiring, or organizations can also discover other contacts, that can introduce them or recommend them here. And you can also find groups, that are centered around your area of professional, expertise should to share their best practices here. So I would request you all to create a profile on LinkedIn. If you don't have an account there, create your profile and you can explore. Okay. Then we have Twitter. Twitter, it's a microblogging site. It was developed in March 2006, and it has, gained popularity worldwide for its short messaging style. Okay. We have limited web characteristics here. And Twitter is a web-based, it's a rapid, file information and opinion network. And it's made of 280 character messages called as tweets. Okay. And then we have spaces and punctuation count, towards this limit. So Twitter has its own kind of shorthand, that you will begin to learn. Twitter also contains information you will find valuable. Okay. Messages, they come from users you choose to follow, and will also show up on your homepage for you to read also, whomever you follow. Okay.
Ma'am, what is meant by retweet? Actually, what is meant by hashtag?
Hashtag.
Hashtag and retweet in Twitter.
In Twitter, see, we have something called as retweet. For example, if you're following some page or some organization, okay, if you like something, you can, share that tweet. That's known as retweeting. Then somebody else will, if it's liked by somebody else, then somebody else will share that. The resharing is known as retweet.
Okay.
Hashtag is, we have hashtags used in Twitter and on Facebook, and most popularly on Instagram as well. Yeah. Hashtag is also, we have just a minute. Yes. So you understood about retweet?
Yes, ma'am.
Retweet. Okay. So hashtag, we have hashtag used in Facebook, Instagram, and also Twitter, right? So hashtag is nothing but it's preceded by a hash sign. Okay, hash sign. For example, you can use to identify something on digital content on a specific topic. For example, hashtag BR Ambedkar Open University. So if you put that BR Ambedkar Open University preceded by hashtag, you'll find all the content related to that institute or organization. Okay, that's also very popular. That's also a means of
okay. If I
topic. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
We add a hashtag just to identify if it's concerning a specific topic. Okay, to popularize a specific topic. Hashtags also, they went many hashtags have also went on to become viral. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Nowadays we are listening more like a trending hashtag with this name.
Yes,
this name.
So trending topics, all these hashtags, they went on to become. Yeah. Earlier we had this bucket challenge and hashtag bucket challenge. So this hashtag is nothing but a precedented sign hashtag. Okay. To circulate or a specific topic, to identify specific or trending topic. We can also create our own hashtags, right? On a specific topic. It's mostly popular on Twitter, then on Instagram, and then on Facebook. We can also create our own hashtags there. Then we have also blog. Okay. Blog also we discussed in the earlier class
Okay.
about blogs. Blogs is also one of the popular social networking sites. Personal blogs. We discussed various types of blogs also,
That
right?
is a separate web. Mhm.
That's it.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. We have
I didn't attend
personal
that classes,
blogs.
ma'am.
Yeah, travel logs. All these things in the earlier classes we have
Mhm.
discussed, right? Blogs.
Okay.
Okay. Blogs are
Okay.
nothing but they are usually maintained by an individual, where with the regular entries of their commentary or
Mhm.
descriptions of events. And I also told they used all those interactive material of
Okay.
multimedia like graphics, animations, and videos. And those people who travels and they post those travel videos on their web blog, it's known as travel logs. So we have all these types of different blogs, right? We have microblogging.
Mhm.
Microblogging is we discussed in the earlier class, like it's a traditional
Oh,
blog in which content is typically very smaller, right? Just as in
okay.
we have
Okay.
tweets, right? And that way we have microblogging. Then we have Wikipedia, right? What is
Okay.
Wikipedia?
Okay. Yes, yes.
You all must be aware of Wikipedia, right?
We'll get more information about that. Yes, yes. They will have full content, full story about the thing, and they will provide some helpful links also.
Yeah, insights into that. See, Wikipedia, it was formally launched in 2001. And it has since then it's had huge amount of interest in the research community. Okay, it is updated from time to time.
Mm-hmm.
You can actually find all the information right from the history to background
Yes, ma'am.
till date, right?
Ma'am, what is
And it attracts
Yes,
Wikipedia,
ma'am. We can
ma'am?
see in different languages.
See, Wikipedia is the world's largest encyclopedia. We can term is that world's largest encyclopedia and one of the most popular websites now with more than 500 million page views per day. And it attracts millions of readers from across the
Yes.
globe. And whenever people want to search information these days, they directly click on Wikipedia. They search on Wikipedia. That's the popularity. Yeah, they trust. They have the trust there.
Build more trust from that, ma'am.
But the drawback is anybody can edit there. So sometimes the information has to be cross-checked
Ah,
because we have a diverse user groups there, right? Anybody can edit and update the content there. So we have more and more content there. Then we
yes,
have
now
more
nowadays they are asking to translate the content also.
yes. We have more option of creating more content there. Everybody can update and yeah, it's an open challenge for people. Hmm. So okay.
Can you hear me? That I'm officially standing up for courses, so I will leave now.
Sorry, you're not. Okay. I'm unable to hear. Can you type it in the chat box, please? Your question. Okay. See, so tomorrow we'll be discussing about social media apps. Okay, like WhatsApp, Instagram, other apps, and how to write for the social media, writing messages for the social media. So we'll be discussing this tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah, and whatever you questions you have, please post it in the chat box because there is some disturbance here.
Ma'am, I want to return the previous classes. How can where can I visit?
See,
You
I
told me
posted
that
the
YouTube channel is.
Yes, yes. One second. I'll post the link in the chat box here.
अरे भाई,
One